Afternoon everyone, hope your week has started out well. Did everyone see that orangey red sun earlier? Definitely made everything look a little apocalyptic, didn't it? As if RAGNARÖK was on its way. On that note, I hope everyone's alright, no one's actually been infected by this hurricane or the storms, and we're all good. In this video we're looking at my squats, which I did yesterday, which is Sunday. My chest and shoulders and even my wrists are a little sore and a little tight from benching the day before, so I've actually taken a slightly wider grip than normal. And with that I've also took a thumbless grip, so if your shoulders are hurting, if your wrists are sore, maybe look at widening your grip a little bit, taking your thumb off, see if that helps actually alleviate some of the pain. Ideally what you want is you want your hands to be as close into the body as you can whilst keeping your elbows on the inside. This is an individual thing however though, so some people need to go further out, some people can come further in, but the idea is as close as possible. This will allow you to keep your upper back as tight as possible, which will give a good stable base for the bar and stop you bending over as you squat. As you can see here, I've tightened my upper back, I've pulled my shoulder blades back and down. I squeeze that upper back tight and jam my traps and rear delts into the bar to make it stable. One point to think about is trying to pull your elbows together behind your back. You won't be able to, but that's the sort of tightness that you want to achieve. When you unrack the bar, you need to let it settle before you start squatting. If the bar is still moving, that's going to put you off as you squat. I'm working up here in sets of 8 like I do for my volume for my bench sets as well. This is also the point that I'll put my knee sleeves on. You don't want to put your knee sleeves on too soon, otherwise your knees will never actually get used to the forces that are acting on them completely. I do, however, recommend that you actually get them on sooner rather than later, as I find that once you get the blood flow moving through your calves, through your thighs, through your knees, they can actually be a bit more difficult to get on because the legs do swell up a bit. So while I did this session is worked up in 10 kilos a side. So started with the empty bar, added 10 each side, then put a 20 on, 20 and a 10, 2 20s and so on, up to this top set which is 180. That added in some extra volume as I spoke about on my bench video. As I got up to this weight and on this set I did notice I got some issues with my IT band and upper glute. I hadn't really noticed much during the week, but I think this was actually caused by the slightly uneven floor last week. So this is where I actually left the weights and went down to a down set instead. Normally, however, I will do 3 down sets, but my IT band and my glute were still quite sore at this point, so I didn't want to push things, so I only did 1 down set and finished on squats for the day. You've got to be sensible, you've got to know when to push it and when to leave it and recover. After squatting, I moved on to some deadlift assistance work. For this cycle I'm doing some block pulls. However, for this session I've not done block pulls for quite a while, so I was actually playing around with a few different things, trying hook grip out, seeing how that was working, getting frustrated with it to be honest with you, but we will be sticking with it, we will be trying to get it to work. I was also switching up between conventional and sumo deadlifts. I was trying to decide what was hitting what muscle groups I wanted the best and what I was going to do for the rest of the cycle. If, like me, you're actually failing your deadlifts at lockout rather than off the floor, block pulls can be really good for this. You can work on that lockout technique and often use heavier weights than you can do from the floor. So as you can see, I'm still trying out both variations, seeing what works best for me. As I'm working on the lockout, I'm actually concentrating on pushing the hips through, squeezing the glutes, and actually locking the bar out. At this point I decided I'm actually going to be doing sumo for the rest of the cycle. I'll be doing block pulls for around sets of 2 or 3. This set was 220, the next 2 sets are actually 230, which I'm quite happy with based on the fact that last time I did sumo from the floor, my max was around 240. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like the post, share with anybody that you think might actually be useful. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, just let me know.